We bring gifts. The obispo, the bishops, have recognized that. 1985, they wrote a letter about the Hispanic community in the U.S. And they said, ellos dijeron que la comunidad hispana latina, the Hispanic Latino community in the U.S. is a blessing. Es una bendición.
In any parish in New York, you don't just have one group. And so in my parish, I have Ecuadorians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Mexicans. Those are the four major groups, then a smattering of everything else Latino.
In the recent history, Hispanics really are put into one pot, but I think that now it needs to be revised because the Mexican population has many differences from other Hispanic groups and many challenges.
What we have to look at is the second generation of Mexicans who are Mexican Americans. Will we lose them as we lost Puerto Ricans who came here in the second generation? So the faith has to evolve and grow.
I'm in the middle, where are certain things about the church that were introduced to us and were kept with us, but not necessarily stayed as a tradition as my family grew and as the majority of our family was rooted here.
I think that it goes also to the challenge that we have as Catholics in general, how to keep our young people, how to keep our faith vibrant and strong and something that, that we want to transmit, but we can't pass it on easily as if it's just something that you hand over. It's something that has to really become ingrained in them. So that's the challenge of the day.
The biggest fear for me is really when I think about the future, in terms of 10 to 15 years, the Mexican population in New York is going to be the largest Hispanic population. We need to have more professionals. We need to encourage people to go to college. We need to create networks of support to support the incoming immigrants, but more especially the children, because the children are getting lost. They don't understand the parents' culture. They don't want to deal with it. And at the same time, they're just sort of turning away.
In our school building, we opened a charter school that's trying to reach out to the Hispanic community and people in the area to help build up their own self-image, because in so many of the public schools they're put down because they don't know English. And I really feel that their self-concept is so improving because people have begun to take notice.
95% of our Hispanic youth that go through to Catholic high school graduate, okay? And 90% of them go to college.
But I don't expect when all my Mexican young people go to college that they're going to be faithful to Sunday Mass. I think they're going to be like their American counterparts. So I think we will probably, unfortunately, have to see some of the next generation be lost and maybe come back. I think the important thing that we can do right now is let them know they still have a home to return to.
But we have not really invested on them as a church. If our church wants to have a relevant voice in our youth lives, we need to create spaces where they can come together, breathe freely, without any judgment, but they can cultivate those relationships that they need to really develop as young persons.